Thank you, guys. Joining us right now to talk more about this is the Democratic Congressman from Wisconsin, Mark Pocan. Congressman, thank you for coming in. This was a big win last night, a win by 10 points for this state Supreme Court seat. What do you take as the biggest lesson or takeaway from last night?
Oh, thanks for having me. I mean, clearly, this not only was a 10-point win in a purple state, but the turnout was so high. It was people coming out to say what Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing is not supported. People don't want their health care and long-term care cut. They don't want education cut. They don't want food assistance cut, all so that Elon Musk and Donald Trump can get a tax cut. This was a very strong, resounding vote. And the vote was absolutely against the Trump-Musk agenda.
Were people voting for Susan Crawford, or were they voting against the influence that Elon Musk was trying to put in this race?
Look, Susan Crawford is a very qualified judge, and she's going to be a great Supreme Court justice. But I think she'll even tell you most people probably couldn't identify her if they were in line with her at a grocery store. That's just kind of the way it happens. But it was clearly a vote against what's going on right now in Washington. The turnout, the intensity was all signs of that as well.
Let me ask you about Florida. The House Majority Leader, Steve Scalise, told reporters last night that picking up those two seats, holding those two seats, would be a quote-unquote big improvement for the party's current majority where it stands right now. Byron Donalds was just on speaking with Sarah, and he said everything is fine. Everything in Florida is just fine and going to get better from here. Does the results last night make your job harder?
No, in Florida, I mean, I hope no one falls down from being so dizzy from that kind of spin. I mean, look, when you have 10 to 20 point shifts in votes in Florida, there's a reason. When you have the Commerce Secretary, a billionaire, telling people if they don't get their Social Security check, like his mother-in-law, that they wouldn't call and complain if you did, you're a fraudster. 40% of people live just off their Social Security income, and clearly in Florida, that matters. The attacks that we see coming from the Trump administration and from Elon Musk right now are epic, and people don't like them. And Republicans who are complicit are going to pay a price. So whether it be Florida's elections or Wisconsin's elections or any other elections that we're looking at across the country, Pennsylvania earlier this month, this is all a signal that the Republicans had better take a quick look at their agenda, because if they continue to do this, which I hope they continue, because the American people are strongly against this and we will beat them back, they're in trouble.
I want to ask you quickly about tariffs, because the president's set to make this massive tariff announcement today. Yesterday, I spoke with Wisconsin Republican Congressman Brian Stile, who told me that when it comes to the tariffs, he's kind of in wait-and-see mode. That, of course, was yesterday on these tariffs. Are you also in wait-and-see mode?
No, Trump's tariffs are taxes on the average person. I mean, there's reasons to have tariffs. If someone's dumping cheap steel in this country, we should put tariffs on it to support the American workers and the industry. But that's not what's happening. This is across-the-board tariffs that somehow Donald Trump does out of either spite or who he's upset with or whatever rationale he's using. But at the end of the day, the people who pay it are the consumers. So, in November, the single greatest issue Donald Trump had was the economy. 50% of the people said they voted for the economy when he won. Now it's his single greatest detriment, because he's not doing what he promised. He's busy doing Project 2025 and conservative dogma rather than reducing the cost for the American people, while he's really bringing the stock market down as well with these dumb ideas. So people are not happy with what he's doing.
Let me ask you really quick. You say that what last night shows is that voters are voting against what they've seen from the Trump administration so far. My question, though, is, are they voting against? Are they voting? Is there anything that they're voting for when it comes to Democrats, that Democrats are providing? We know there is a big conversation, fight, whatever you want to call it, going on within the Democratic Party after big election losses of who's really leading, what direction should you lean? Should you lean more liberal? Should you lean more moderate going on? Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, calling the Democratic brand absolutely toxic and really problematic. Have Democrats shown yet that they are giving voters anything to vote for, or is it simply just against Donald Trump?
Well, we're going to make sure that Social Security doesn't get cut. We're going to protect Medicare and Medicaid. We're going to make sure that education is still funded and we're not cutting things like food assistance or veterans hospital assistance. I mean, we're already having problems with people getting veterans hospital appointments because of the cuts by Donald Trump and Elon Musk. First of all, we're normal, right? We want to go back to normal, and I think that means something these days. But it is harder when you don't have a singular point person that's the spokesperson for the Democratic Party. I acknowledge that. But right now, people know who's fighting for them and who's not. And I think you're going to keep seeing this movement from people, understanding that the Republicans right now are a party that's really just about the wealthiest, the oligarchs, so to speak, in this country, about Elon Musk and Donald Trump and people who can belong to Mar-a-Lago. And at least Democrats are standing up for the middle class wherever we can.
Democrats need that point person, spokesperson, need it pretty quick. It's good to see you, Congressman. Thank you for coming in.